I'll be talking about, we will be talking about how do you guys get into advertising or probably make a career with advertising.
Sorry, really sorry.
Yes, recording.
Yes, good.
Praveen is there? Okay. Do you need the bottom mic for them?
Sitting here, no.
Can we get in the collar mic? Collar mic, sir. But it has to be connected here, no? That.
Okay, we can go.
They're able to hear.
I think I'm loud enough.
Yeah, they said they're able to hear.
Is it hard to listen? I don't know. Maybe I'll speak a little more louder, you know.
Yeah.
So I would like to give a little background about us, and we work with a couple of really good agencies in the past, and I started my career with an agency called Ogilvy, wherein from Arena I had gone for an internship and got there as an intern for like 3 months, and then they called me back because they really loved my work. So I would say that that's where all my things started, and the passion for design, animation, everything starts from there. I love about yourself.
So I also started the same way. I first went to MAA Communication where I worked for around a year and a half. Then I moved into Publicis where I got to work in brands like Amazon, Blackberry, L'Oreal, Ogilvy. So, and then after that, after working there for 2.5 years, I moved on to ABInBev where I got to work for Budweiser, Corona, where I got to do lots of events and music events. Luckily, I got to work on FIFA materials. It's all fun. I handle all the video editing and motion graphics for social media, for any social like Hotstar or something.
So yeah, basically he was my video editor and motion designer. I was an art director back then, and we used to work on every single project. So we actually know each other so much that I would say I know his weakness and he knows my weakness. So we sort of coincide and work together that way. Yeah.
9 years.
9 years, sir?
Yeah. It's been 9 years.
I came first to Arena, he was the...
Correct, 2014 batch.
So I would just want to say one incident. We used to sit over here, like right in the start of the these chairs. So
Rohit's chair.
so this was one incident wherein Danny hates drawing, and
Not hate, sir. I don't do.
yeah, he literally hates. So basically, when he goes to that class, he sits next to me. He's like, "Yo, bro, I don't want to do this, man." Yeah. So I understand that he has a hard time with illustrating or probably getting things with illustration. Now he's improved a lot. That's a different ball game. But yeah. So
Sorry to
I mean,
interrupt you. He won 3,000 rupees for doodling,
yes,
That
yes,
big check.
Yeah, that's what it is.
yes.
Yoga doodling he did.
Yes.
Yoga doodling he did.
So it was fun. I mean, it was fun. So yeah, we'll start today's session by just talking about how you guys can land a job in advertising. I've written strategically land a job because you will have to use a lot of strategy in getting a job. Right now, the industry has become really intense, and since I've hired people in the past, and I have been in the hiring team in my previous agency also I have hired. So So it helps me give insights about it. Yeah. So, okay, let's go. So I hear this a lot. Graphic design or animation. Which one to choose? How do you go about? Which one should I take as my career? See, I'll just give you one example wherein if you like drawing, if you like creating things, and if you like illustrations, and probably even animations too, you can jump into graphic design. But animation is like a big other industry, I would say, wherein you sort of need to learn a lot of other things, to just start off. So, do you want to talk a little about animation?
Yeah, for animation you need to learn all the softwares. Like for graphic you need to know about details about graphic design. You need to know how to use Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro. There are always new softwares coming out which helps you develop your skills. So you need to update it, whatever softwares are coming and what you can do with those things. Now AI is also coming. You have to do those things also to help you.
Yeah, one more thing is, whatever new software comes in, the basics are usually the basics. So if you know like a couple of softwares, it's very much easy to like move into the new one. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So I will be just talking about what are the rules for the fresher. Roles, I would say there are plenty of roles, and I'm assuming that you guys would know a little about these roles, or you would have heard about these. So these are not just the roles, I would say. These are just a few of the ones which I personally have seen a lot in the industry, and I hope you guys have seen any of these. I mean, let's make it a little interactive, you know. It's boring for me to just talk and talk and talk. Any of you guys have seen these roles in the industry or have attended interviews? Any of you?
You have seen in a job profile, you attended interviews, no?
Yeah.
Tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have attended interviews?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. How was your experience?
Sujit.
I was asked many technical roles
Okay.
and introducing yourself.
Right.
First interview I got a on how to tell them.
So I see he has a hard time in the technical round. So I'll get to that. Okay. Let's go one by one. So yeah, let's talk about portfolio and resume. That's the first thing which you really need to like crack in. Yeah. So resume. That's one thing which you guys need to have it right. You know. So I would say in resumes there are two types of resumes. As a designer, you can show a resume which is like very colorful, you know, with an image, with your design skills involved in it. There is another one thing called plain resume or ATS friendly resume. I'll tell you I'll tell you a little about what is ATS. So ATS is something called applicant tracking system. So when you apply for a big company, for example, like Amazon or Infosys, Microsoft, any place, like a big company, they have this thing called application tracking system, which is basically like a system which tracks your and filters your resume. So they get applications for like 10,000, 15,000 people for just one role. So this is what they really use in those softwares, those industries. So a little about how do you format a resume for ATS. So your resume will be pretty plain if you are applying for a big company and you know that they might be using ATS. So you can go with a very plain resume like that. This is just an example. You can add things to this. For example, on a resume, you should use keywords. So if you see a job description which says graphic designing, and you can always see the description which says they should have so many years of experience or so much software they should be knowing, all that. So you can take those keywords and add effectively to your resume. So what happens is when the ATS system processes your resume, they basically takes that keyword and matches to that job role. So it's something like there is a system wherein they have a job description. Say job description, graphic designing, need to know Premiere Pro, After Effects, Illustrator. And if this is there in your resume will get shortlisted for the first round. So another one thing would be you need to have a standard formatting like that. And you should, for this type of resume, you should avoid images and graphics, even icons also, because your ATS system will not process the icons or the images. And your ATS system will always read from left to right. So it will read Dorothy, Edwards, and then go like that. If you have two columns like this, then it will read like this and then read like that. So your information will be a mismatch and the system will not take it. So if you guys have confusion or if you feel that it's all going way over your head, please let me know, okay? So yeah, and you use a PDF as your regular type and use action verbs. Action verbs in the sense persuaded to make the team build this software, or any words that show action in your intent. And basically you don't need to add your full address in your resume. I see so many resumes with full address and images. Images you can add, absolutely you can add images. Another type of resume. This is the first type of resume wherein you send this resume to a MNC company, right? Okay. The second type of resume I'll show you. Yeah. This is your regular type of resume which you can see for a designer or for a video editor or any types. You know, you can use this resume if you're sure that the company is like a big scale company and the HR will personally look at your resume and forward it. Then you can absolutely send this resume. If you feel that this resume is not working, then you should move on to that one. If it's like an MNC company. Otherwise, you will surely not get shortlisted, because I've tried like 5-6 times for Amazon and I got shortlisted. I did 8 rounds with Amazon and got kicked out. So I know the pain of how do you like mess up with just the resume. I'll show you one more resume, very interesting resume which I recently found and which will be really interesting. See this resume. Very interesting.
Like a movie poster.
Yes, this is very interesting, but at a glance, it's very interesting, and but it's not readable. The problem you see that the resume is there, it's pretty cool to see that, and if you notice, there is an image also. Yeah, there is an image also. So, pretty impressive. Like, from a design point, I would say A+ he gets. From a readability point, I would just give F, because nothing is readable. And if he had reduced the drop shadows and the background a little more, it would have been a little more legible. But this kind of resume, you might impress the interviewer, but I don't know if it might crack into the MNC sector. So you can try this for sure.
But you are giving F and asking them to try.
You can try it with the advices I've said. Make it legible. Make it legible whatever you have written. I mean, whatever objective or experience that you have, right? Make it legible. And I would say space it a little more so that it's more easier to read and easier on the eyes. So one more thing is the resume, whatever you send, the interviewer basically glances through the resume. So try to like highlight the experiences or probably a project that you have done in Arena that you feel that gives you a little more insight on a couple of things. Highlight those things and show it. So yeah, for video is not a talk. I'm not gonna stop with just the.
So for videos and all, if you are going for motion graphics or video editing, you can create a video portfolio which will help you stand out from other people. You can give us small information and give a link to that, which will help you attract the recruiter. It is much easier, nice also. It feels good.
MP4 you can send, huh?
MP4.
Yes. So when it comes to videos also, I've seen portfolios wherein if you're applying for a company like ABInBev, for example, they sort of make the resume or make the template just like ABInBev and use elements from their branding, from Airbnb's branding. I've seen that kind of resume
I've
also.
seen Netflix.
Yeah.
They have made some portfolio same as
Netflix, yeah.
Those
These
form.
things and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
but
Netflix format.
yes,
Netflix
yes.
format, yeah.
Yes. So yeah. Let's go to portfolio. Portfolio, to be honest, portfolio needs to have max 3 to 4 projects. I would say max 3 projects. Don't go overboard and have like 10, 15 projects. I've seen a candidate wherein she had about 28 projects with in Behance, and it was all a mess, honestly. So give your time to 1 or 2 projects and make it perfect, or probably give the best that you really can from the project. So 3 things that you really need to look into the portfolio. When you put the portfolio link on the resume, don't put it like this, please. Because this link, the recruiter has to copy the link and then copy and paste it in the web browser and then see if it loads or not. So that's a task, you know. Honestly, when you're reviewing like hundreds and 200 of the resume, that's absolutely a task. So what you need to do is, in your resume, have the first thing as your portfolio, and the portfolio should be clickable. In PDF, you can always make it clickable. So when you click on the portfolio, it takes you to that site, whatever site. And yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, in your portfolio, show variations of animations and graphics, and you need to have, if you're into graphic designing, show very strong alignment, hierarchy, and balance. I would say that's the key things. When you show a poster, show alignment, proper alignment of things, space it properly so that people read, and people read from left to right. So always try to keep your things on the left, whatever you want the reader to see the first thing, and then move on to the right. So basically contrast and balance. Yeah, and he will talk about the animation part of the.
Right, sorry, first. You were telling that, don't devote the portfolio, keep it to the 3 projects or something.
Yes.
But what happens here, is we do make them into portfolio in many words.
Right. So what you need to do is basically ask them which is your best ones. Which is your best ones, and I am sure that if you would have done 10 projects also wouldn't be top notch. Maybe 2 projects would be top notch. Show that 2 projects so that you guys get shortlisted. You need to impress the recruiter, because we see like so many resumes and so many formats and a lot of new things like that, transformers. That really shook me up, when I saw that. I was like, pretty cool. So yeah, you guys need to add your best works in Behance or probably Dribble or whatever website that you use, and that sort of helps, you know. Yeah, you can go and with the animation.
For videos also, there are different animation styles which you can stop animation, video editing, and then 2, 3, 4, 2D animations. So you can give different varieties. Like you can tell the tutor, I know different styles of work, and I can help you in different ways to animate things. So if you have the more, it's more nice.
Yeah. Anything that you learned from your first 2 interviews? Because Danny had a hard time at the start, and he used to work in one of these agencies. Was it agency? Yeah. He used to work in one of these agencies in Kalyan, and that was a little hard start for him, I would say.
Same, don't show too much stuff to the recruiter. Show your best works, which you have confidence on that.
Yeah.
That's all. Don't give them like 10 videos, I have done these many things. No. Give your best works. That will help you.
So I'll tell you why. You have to send your best works, because I'll show you questions that the interviewer would be asking you after seeing your resume or portfolio. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, as I mentioned, I have possible best works. Keep your resume for 1 pager, ideally 1 pager. If you have a lot to write, or maybe your projects are huge, then two pages max, I would say. Then one more thing which I feel that sort of didn't learn in Arena was how do you think when a concept comes in? So why do industry people hire you guys? Have you ever thought of that? Like why? What is the purpose of having you guys in the team, and maybe as a designer or motion graphics or whatever? Because they have a requirement from a client which says, I want sort of maybe my social media to be handled, or probably I need these many videos for my brand to grow. So that's the whole reason when a person, when an interviewer hires a designer or a video editor. And I would say if you show problem solving in your portfolio, for example, if you did a logo, if you made that logo, just show how you thought about the logo. And first step would be you create doodles of the logo, or probably you sketch something, and from that concept you do into the next one, and you do some brain dumping. Brain dumping is another one strategic process. Brain dumping is basically like so for example, if you're doing a logo, you let's take Arena animation. Let's take Arena animation as the logo you're creating. Now, Arena animation, what does it say? It deals with graphic design, animation, 3D, 2D, everything. So there should be a logo which sort of coincides with the whole ecosystem. So what you do is you write down Arena animation in a paper with a big circle, and write next to it all the things that relates to it or correlates to it. So you will get like 10 things that are correlating to the Arena animation, and then you pick up things that are really relevant. So I would say Arena animation, Illustrator, Photoshop, then animation, then building in HRBR layer, next to Lassi shop. Yeah, all those are brain dumping. It's called brain dumping because you basically dump whatever things are there in your head, and then you shortlist. Then you take that circle and connect it to another circle and say, this is the path I want to take. So animation, graphic design, 3D. That I take it down, and then take it down to more narrower. In animation, what do you want to show, and how do you want to show? All that. So this is like a very short way of explaining brain dumping. Brain dumping is a large process, honestly. If you guys are really interested, have a look into it on Google. if you guys have any questions or something, we can take it in the end. But brain dumping is like something like a process which we actually use for creating new things, and you need to show problem solving in your resume. Problem solving in the sense, if you have a resume, if you have a portfolio which shows like a design, which says, can you tell me a topic that you have used for eye showcasing?
Music videos.
Okay, music videos. So your brief would be create a music video in a graphic design style for a concert or for a probably a seminar. So that poster or that design should have a thought process. Basically like a thought process which says, I have thought about this, and this is what I came into, and this is the output. I'll show examples of all that in the end. So just keep this in mind. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. And let's go to this one first. So you guys, when you attend an interview, the first thing that you will be doing is talking to a HR basically. You send a resume, they shortlist you, and you talk to a HR. They basically ask you about what your experience is, and have you learned these kind of softwares, or have you been working with such and such things, and then sort of like the team lead would take up interview of you. It would just be like a chat. They'll ask you about a couple of things that you have done in the past, and the things that you really like about all that. Then you sort of have a design test. Absolutely, that is a very crucial thing. If you pass the design test, I would say the entire interview is done. But you need to pass the design test. Design test it'll be really hard, honestly, for a beginner. I'll give you topics of design tests that we usually take in the next slide. For now, I would say these are the questions that you will be asked. Tell me about yourself is like the glorified version of what do you do, macha? Yeah, that is the thing. So basically you guys need to if you have trouble talking to another person in English or probably so what you need to do is talk to a friend of yours. Make sure that you talk to him even with a broken English, even with whatever English that you can possibly confide with. So you will improve in time. I would give an example of one of my friends, very close friend of mine. He used to work in MAA with me, and he was like a very fresher during that time, and this was the first day of his job, and he was having a very hard time communicating. He came in from Kerala, and he basically didn't know English much, but he didn't have the passion to learn, and grow. Now I see him talking Hindi also. Hindi was something that he was out of league for him. So you can see that people have improved in time. So you guys need to start somewhere, Don't be ashamed of yourself saying that, oh, I can't talk, man. So I won't be able to crack the interview. No, just try. Try like 3-4 times. You will surely crack it. So yeah, the next one would be, so the questions that you will be asked will be like, as a fresher, you will be asked on basic print digital questions. If it's animations, then
Basically, they'll ask which software you use and which software that's
which softwares. I would say in animation, I've seen a couple of things. In animation also, what they do is they ask you to open your portfolio. Open your portfolio when they are along with you. Basically, you screen share the portfolio and you talk about the portfolio. They'll ask you what is the best thing that you like about your portfolio and explain about it. So there you need to really prepare and talk about something that you really are passionate about, and please don't copy others' design and put it in your portfolio. I see a lot of that, and they come to the interview and they'll be like, they don't know how they came to that thought process or that round of things. So yeah, and I would say this is another one question. How much do you expect as your salary? That will be the last round of salary discussion. Okay. And yeah, and you guys don't have to say as much as you guys can give. I have got that answer also. Yes. So you guys need to do a little research about the industry and see how much they pay maximum, or probably each company pays maximum to this much range. You can just put a ballpark. Don't say I need 12 lakhs, I need 10 lakhs. Don't say that. Give a ballpark between 8 to 15 lakhs, so that there is room for them to take the thing, you know. Okay. Any questions on this?
You cannot say as per the industry standard.
You can absolutely say as per the industry standards, and they'll give you the lowest. Absolutely, they'll give you the lowest of the industry standard. So, for example, if the CTC if the CTC of the candidate who has worked for a year is 4 lakhs, imagine it's 4 lakhs, and he applies to a next company, and he says, according to the industry standard, you can decide and let me know. Okay, and they'll give you 5 lakhs. So actually they will have a budget up to 8 or 10 lakhs, but they'll give you the least of the least, because they want your skills and they want the budget also to be there. So you need to basically negotiate when they give the first round of salary. Like if they give 5 lakhs, tell them this is not the expected standards or whatever you are looking for. Expected standards would be 30% when you're moving jobs, 30% from whatever CTC you are having. That is your ideal. You might get 100% also. I've got 110% also. But that's all depending on your luck.
And the abilities.
Yeah, and your ability. That is given. That is given. So yeah, let's go to the next one. So yeah, as earlier I mentioned, design tests. So in design tests, they will ask you to make a logo. I would say they will ask you to make a logo which will be a very simple logo. They will ask you, they'll give you a scenario. I've seen this in the industry wherein they'll give you a scenario like, we are making a sub-brand in our company, and which has a name of this one, so and so, and you will have to create a logo of that. So imagine the company is my company, Truecaller. So, and Truecaller is creating a sub-brand called Truecaller Education or something like that. And you will have to think about from a point wherein how Truecaller is branded first. Go to their website, go to their Instagram, go to their Facebook, see how their branding is, what colors do they use, what font do they use, and what style do they use, illustration, everything. And try to like make a logo which is kind of similar to whatever they have or stays in the brand guidelines. That is one really good thing I have seen, logo design. Logo design shows you your thought process, your creativity, as well as your speed. So yeah, the second one would be social media post. Social media post is basically like, imagine if you're working for a brand called Garnier, and Garnier needs to post every day. Garnier needs to post their Instagram. If you guys follow any brands, they post every day or monthly, twice or thrice or 4 times. Depends on the brand strategy. And so what a social media post is basically something that the brand puts in their social media accounts, promoting something or the other from the brand. Maybe if it's Garnier, promoting their micellar or probably their lipsticks or things like that, you know. So you need to take a look at social media. So maybe probably take a screen grab of this because you guys surely will get one of these. I'm 100% sure. And you guys need to sort of prepare on each of these. If you guys don't know what these are, probably you can Google it or probably you can reach out to me. I'll give you my contact in the last slide. So yeah, social media post. Any questions on social media post or the design, logo design?
Logo design I have used. So how many colors? Like earlier we used to say 3 colors and all everything. Now things have opened up more. Right?
I would say still stick to 3 colors, 3 or 4 colors.
Solid colors.
Max 3 or 4 colors. I would say 3 colors is the best. Make it simple, make it elegant, and show your thought process. Show what you really thought about the logo.
The logo story.
Yeah. We really wanna see how you guys think basically. We can hire a lot of people who are skilled with designing, but they can't think. I want you guys to start thinking about why this design, why this color, why this font, or probably why a lot of whys basically. Okay, let's.
So in the interview, when they ask the candidate to design the logo,
Yeah.
so there itself what you're suggesting is they need to do the research.
So they will give you time. In an interview round, basically this round,
Yes,
design
exactly.
test round. So when you finish team lead round, they will tell you we have a design test for you, and we will send it across to you, and you guys can take 3-4 days or a week to finish it, and then come back to us. They'll give you some timelines. Basically, they'll give you like 3-4 days for it, easily. And the main thing is, you need to tell the design lead when you want to take up the test. You can always tell him. If you're working and you feel that works a lot during the weekday, and you want to take the test during the weekend, you can ask him, can you send the resume? Can you send the test during the weekend? And he will absolutely send it across.
Flexible.
Yes, absolutely. We always look out for people. So yeah, layout design is your regular posters and all that things, wherein you show a layout, you show a typography, and you show a image, how you place the image and all that. So infographic and video creation is going to talk about.
Mostly they give 2 kinds of tests. One is social media, and another one is where they give you a script and you have to design the video from the scratch. So social media is obviously simple reels and everything. And for the second one, you need to create a storyboard where you will let know the recruiter how you thought of this video and all this. That is for motion graphics. For video editing, it's different. For video editing, you need to take footages from different places, try to edit in a way where the recruiter get attracted. And basically, these tests and all will be seen by the team lead. So he will decide how is your skill level on that, and then he will come back to you.
Script you were talking about.
Yeah, they'll give you the script.
You get one example of a script. Basically, you said storyboard. So they have designed a storyboard. That doesn't mean they have to be creatively good and drawing and all that.
No.
Just the idea has to be.
Yeah, idea has to be there. And then create the video also. Storyboard will be there. Those are for examples, how you thought for creating the videos, your thought process. And then you execute it.
So in storyboard also, you don't have to be like really
Really
good
good at
drawing.
it.
You can just draw circles, rounds, squares, and whatever.
Stick figures.
And yeah, absolutely. You can draw stick figures and basically make the user understand what transition or probably what the storyline is. You know?
You should relate to the
Yeah, exactly.
They'll give you all the their brand logos and whatever the color they have to use and everything. They'll give you a separate folder, and from there you have to use. If they have a different elements which they use, they'll give you those elements also, which you have to use in the video itself.
So which software do you use for that?
I use same Adobe, mostly all Adobe for After Effects.
After Effects?
For video editing, sometimes Premiere Pro, and then for vector illustrator, and for images and everything, I need to correct images and everything. I use Photoshop.
What about animate?
Animate not. I use a
After effects.
Animate
Effects
died,
I
I
can
feel.
use.
Died from
So
the
basically that is proper 2D animation.
Proper 2D
Proper
animation.
2D animation.
Deeper animate.
Yeah, I do more of a motion graphics.
Motion
so
graphics, After
After
Effects.
Effects.
Yeah, he's a motion graphics specialist.
Yes.
Okay, let's go fast with the thing. The fifth one is rebranding exercise. Rebranding exercise is something like if you have a logo in the sense, if you have a logo like, so again, arena animation, they will ask you to come up with another logo for arena animation, wherein they will say, imagine if you are the head of arena animation, or probably you are leading a design team who is designing and recreating the logo of arena animation. And they will ask you to use their colors probably, or maybe think of new colors which will suit the industry. And yeah, and you guys need, when you guys designing with a logo, please make sure that that logo sits with the colors of the industry. So for the hospitality, I would say use green or blue. For animation, I would say use orange, red, yellow, because orange, red, yellow gives that excite in the colors. So all that basically. And the last one would be a very important thing called emailer. Emailer is let me like make it precise. So when you go to I would say go to Apple Store and subscribe for their newsletter, you'll sort of get their mails usually maybe like a month once. You get an emailer. That's called an emailer, wherein they email it to you guys, giving an information of something, and that information will probably be with their product or probably their discounts or things like that. So you'll have to basically design an emailer, and emailer is it's pretty simple. Honestly, it's pretty simple. I'll show you all of these in the end. Newsletter also I'll show you in the end. Newsletter is something like you'll have a lot of text given to you, and they will ask you to design with that text with infographics. So they would want to know how you break down the text and how your visual hierarchy is for design. Let's go to the next one. These are some pro tips, I would say. If possible, add a campaign. I'll show you what a campaign is, and ask interviewer about questions. Very important thing. Ask questions to the interviewer when you're talking to him. Ask questions like, how would my day look like when I join a company, or probably what kind of job or what kind of expectation do you have from me for the next 3 months. So ask questions like that. That sort of makes you stand out from the ordinary crowd. Yeah. Then actually these guys screen sharing. Yeah. So before I get into this, I'll tell you a little about that. So whatever I'm going to show you is a social media post right now. That is, you saw it here, social media post. This one. And social media post is basically like, they will tell you, you will have to create a post for this brand, and you'll have to come up with the design, you'll have to come up with the idea. So here I'll give you an example where I was given a situation wherein I was working with a client called Ola. I was with Burnett back then, and they asked me create. So basically during that time, Avengers was trending. I would say it was going viral, and they wanted to make a post on Avengers. Ola, being a mobility, I would say mobility company, wanted to make a post on Avengers. So basically that is your brief. That's all you get, and. Yeah, so this is what I made. Like you can make fun things like this. If you don't understand,
I can take photo of
yeah,
this and share it.
absolutely. Go ahead. So if you don't understand, the idea here was Thanos has that gauntlet, and gauntlet has that whatever that gems on it, and we use those gems as our this one mobility, like scooter, auto, and all that. So something fun like that, you know. We have done so many things like this. I feel that this is really cool, and I'll show you more. We had to create an Eid post, and we sort of made the logo Eid. Simple, very strategically easy. Yes.
And tire.
Yeah, tire. That is the logo. That was the logo. I mean, that is the logo.
That's the logo, but here it is string.
So this thing.
That is the logo.
That is the thing which we pasted over here. That looks like a tire actually. So I'll show you more examples of these. I'll show you a post with animation. So when you see, I have explained each and every concept, and that sort of gives. If your interviewer is probably from another country, he needs to understand what is the context of this or thought behind whatever this is. So he might not know what is this, because he might not know the brand, or he might not know what context this is in. So you sort of give the concept and you sort of write like 4 or 5 lines on this. You can put it in ChatGPT and easily get the line. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this was a very simple but very brain scratching, I would say, brief, wherein we had to create a post for Gandhi Jayanti. And yes, Gandhi Jayanti. So the thought process over here was you had to come up with a post for Gandhi Jayanti, and it needs to be really wacky and really on to the point, you know. So I'll show you the post. So the post is this.
So cool, no?
So the idea over here is MG Road. MG Road is there in all of these states.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
MG Road is there in all of those states, and the line uniting the nation one road at a time. So MG Road is there in Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai. We did research on that, and all that is connected with Ola. So that is the brand connect you are bringing.
And
So
we are using the chakra of the.
yeah, that is your topical connect. That is the connect for the Gandhi Jayanti. So pretty simple, but you need to like think. I'll show you one more. See, this was for Pride Day, which we did. Very simple. You remember this? Yeah. So animation. One more last animation which I'm going to show. This was for Diwali. For Diwali, we had to make another post which talks about how Ola is traveling. So we did something like that. So you get it on. So it says celebration Jahan, drop karenge wahan. So yeah, simple, but you make the user feel that, oh yeah, he's thought about this, yeah, and I'll show you one campaign. I'll show you a campaign. What is a campaign? A campaign is something like, for example, if you're telling the user that we are going to create a campaign, that means that we are going to talk about something or some topic for a longer period of time. And with that campaign, you're trying to create a change or probably create or grow your brand, something like that. That will be your campaign. So this was basically how the Ola typography and all that thing. And here, I'll show you this one post. So we had to make a this one. No, we had to make what? Cricket World Cup campaign. So Cricket World Cup campaign was basically which talks about each match and how we try to bring the brand into certain communication. So if you keep talking as a brand, people will love you. If you have gone to Zomato's page or probably Swiggy's page, you'll see that they put out so many nice, fun things. I mean, yeah. So that way people will like love your brand. So that will create brand love, and that will make people to buy a lot from Zomato, buy a lot from Swiggy. So that is what we are trying to create here. In this campaign, this was another post. You'll see series of posts. This was for India and Australia. Here the concept here is a tiger attacking a kangaroo. So India versus Australia. Done. And second one is you say love your neighbor, love thy neighbor. This was for I guess Sri Lanka. Yeah. So we were like beat thy neighbor. So you have like continuous posts and you have the same look and feel for it. You see another one. This was when Gale was, back in the day, Gale was out, and so they call him the storm, no? Okay, so
Blue
yeah.
skies.
So we see blue skies, no storm because Gale was out. And this we had to think a lot. So the lads or the mates, that means the lads is the Australian. I mean, the mates are the Australian and lads are the England. So if you see this part of this one is their flag. These three colors, and England flag has that three colors. So we added the brand to it, saying that which one will win. So with a car, basically. And last one would be India lost that match, so we had to be like, thank you, it was a memorable journey.
And again showing the road.
Yeah. So we have to any design that you do, you have to connect to the brand. So when you see all the designs connect to Ola or anything that Ola relates to, like travel or cars or probably this one tires or something like that. You know.
And you have limited the colors to the logo colors
Yes.
itself.
Look, they will have a brand guideline, so they will have colors to that. Yeah.
Green, black,
And
white.
these were like some really fun animations inside it. Dhoni animation, the 7 for Dhoni. When Dhoni hits 6 or 4, we were trying to put out this. Yeah, we did fun things like that.
So where would this come? This is now in their Instagram.
All their Instagram, all their social handles basically. Yeah.
So you guys will make it early and keep it up? Or publication.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Come, you talk about it. I don't know what you're doing. So he's gonna talk about the video aspect of the design.
So videos, there are like Hotstar, Sony Live and everything. So for Hotstar, I created a 10-second video for Premier League. So before a Premier League match happens, just 10 seconds of. I'll show you the FIFA World Cup also full screen. So this was the stock of points. You can't use Budweiser, so Budweiser 0.0. Can't add. That
But still you can see that.
that we had to face problem for FIFA also. We can't promote FIFA direct Budweiser. No, we have to use Budweiser 0.0.
What is it?
0.0.
No
Non-alcohol. Non-alcohol. You guys promote alcohol.
Yes.
So even if international
So soda,
assets,
something they will do.
Yeah, non-alcohol.
yeah, so any international assets also used to come, we can't directly show to Indian market because it has the Budweiser.
Yeah.
I'll show you the FIFA campaigns. Like done like every ABInBev team from all around the world. When we came together and there was some role did.
No, it's a different.
No, somebody's got Vijay, can you mute yourself?
Vijay?
Are you asking him that? Yeah, that could be.
Alright, continue.
Okay, so
He's asking here.
He's asking to mute himself. He's still on.
it's muted.
Yeah, it's muted. Yes, Daniel.
Continue, right?
So whatever happened in India, there was videos and all those things I worked on. But there are like other places also. So this was the full campaign. This was the problem we faced. 3 hours before the World Cup,
Before a match, about an hour after
they
a match,
replied,
will not be confined to
what was the
one way
decision?
but down, even that decision.
This we did for history of Indian football record. So these kind of videos goes for cans, lands, and all this. Lands.
Cans, right?
These kind of videos, how full their campaign video goes like this.
Yeah, it goes like that.
Goes like that.
Cans, right?
You have to give
Basically, one of the most prestigious advertising awards, Cannes Lion.
Cannes Lion.
Yeah.
Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah,
Yes,
Cannes
that's
Film
right. That lion only. Yeah.
Lion.
Yeah.
no, it's not.
If you want, show. See,
Motion graphics.
show. I mean, whatever you have.
Lot of video editors are there. There's a lot of motion graphics editors are there.
So Amazon I saw.
Yeah.
Amazon also same campaign. Their videos and all like that. You just collage everything in one video, and when it goes for awards and all those things, these videos are used. You can't just show single stuff. For award shows and all those
So
things,
you only
festival.
shoot the videos. You only shoot the videos.
So basically,
It's a bigger team. It's a big team. So
They shoot and send.
yeah.
So for like when we shoot with Siddharth and all those things happened in Southeast. So there are different teams there who did all those things. For shoot and all, we have like different production teams who handle all those things. And then later everything comes.
You come and come back.
This is exclusively motion graphic, where it's done the whole animation part.
Yeah.
Yes. So this was Amazon in this kind of worked on everything.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, here's what I have.
Indigo.
Yeah. He was
We used to
there.
work on Amazon also, no?
Yes.
Amazon things.
He used to work at Amazon.
The Amazon Great Indian Festival is India's most anticipated online shopping event.
This was 2017.
18.
This is how we must start.
That is your social media post.
We created a unique design inspired by
This is a campaign.
We kept the festivities going for 45 days, rolled out 3 phases. We kicked off the campaign with content that generated curiosity. To attain maximum reach, we used a variety of platforms and then let them create engaging content. We even got 80 other brands to join the fun. We had games and influencers. By the end of the
All the
fun,
designs
we
are
had created over 5,000 pieces of content across multiple platforms. And the numbers would
You did the package design and all, no?
Whatever design is being created.
3 months, huh?
3 months.
Worked for 3 months.
3 months,
from across the
more than 8,000 creators.
Wow. It's like in 3 waves it was. Each wave had different of elements. The color change.
Yeah,
everything.
color change.
Then the Amazon Great Indian Festival
For Diwali
2009
and all.
successful.
1890.
Remember that for a long time. So when you say campaign, that is the example of a campaign. So they have Great Indian Sale, and Great Indian Sale, each time it will be different Great Indian Sale, and you have a different color, you will have a different theme, and if you see that, whatever he showed right now, that had a circus theme, wherein it was like fun, we love to explore sort of a thing. So when you pitch to the client also, you need to do all that thing. That is like a little different, a little above level of fresher. So you guys will learn English. That is the last thing. Any questions?
As a student, how did you transform? Yeah, that is my question.
As a question, as a student,
As you were a student,
Yeah.
what challenges you felt when you went to a professional
Oh, yes.
environment?
oh yes, big challenges, I would say. First challenge was getting interviews was very hard. Back in the days also. And I still remember I used to travel from Nagar, where I stayed, to Electronic City just for one interview and got rejected in 1 hour. So I had situations like that also. When I would say the major thing that gave me a challenge was the campaigning. I had no clue about campaigning. I didn't have any idea about campaigning. So the first question that my interviewer in Ogilvy had asked me was, they gave me a couple of images basically. I had to work for Amazon back in the day, and they gave me a few toys images, and they asked me, imagine that you are creating a banner or you are creating an image wherein this would be a banner which will say a new toy store is coming up in Amazon, and your identity will be shown over there. So they gave like 4 images, and they told me, make whatever design you feel that you like. I was like, I would say, I was sitting over there for 3 hours. I was sweating in my palms, in my legs, every freaking way. And what I did was, I was good with illustrating. I was good at drawing things. And so what I did was, I made one illustration of like a train. From a top angle, one train is moving, and one toy store, one round logo I made. Like very quickly I did. And I was like panicking so much. They said they had to, I had to submit the thing, and I had to go sit for like half an hour. I was super sweaty. I was just sitting over there, and I thought I'm gonna get rejected firstly, but the interviewer was very kind to me, and she came to me and she was like, she was the creative head back in the days. She was leading the Amazon team, and she came to me and she took me to a room and she was like, Rohit, we really like your thought process of how you did it. Basically, if you're showing something, right, show with a good text. Even if it is very simple. I just did one pottery I mean, I just did one rail and did one train over here. Train was just 2 boxes and one smoke like this. And I still remember that having a toy store or something like round and one drop shed on that. That's all I did. And she was like, for a beginner, it is good that your portfolio is nice, and we would like to have you work with us for like 2 months. It was the internship, and 2 months I worked with them for Amazon, and they really liked my work. And one of the colleagues left during that time, and after like 2 months, I went to Ogilvy. I didn't even have interview back then. I was like, Paramaga. Yeah, so yeah, that basically means come on dude in English. I mean, yeah. So that is one experience I would say. But working in advertising is fun as well as challenging. I would say be ready to grind. The work will be like 12 hours, 16 hours some days. When it is campaign, don't even think of anything. You know, the campaign that you guys saw for Amazon, for 3 whole months we had to slog like anything because it was such a big this one campaign, and 8 to 10,000 creators had to be done, and we were a team of just 5 people.
And that was not the worst part. The worst part was before when the event started, every day morning we used to get all the changes, and then we have to, redo.
Yeah.
Redo kind of. It's like we leave some place for that and then do that and send that day itself.
So basically, when you see
So prices and all were kind of updating every day. So if Flipkart reduces it, they also reduces it. So that again we have to make that competition. And then
exactly. So be ready for the grind, and I would say you guys will do great if you have the mindset to learn. So any questions regarding design, salary, how do you crack an interview, or probably, yeah, go ahead.
For animation, 2D animation, what will be the design test? Because those were
2D animation, yes, I have done 2D animation. I have done 2D animation. So in 2D animation test, what they'll give you is they'll give you a storyboard. Basically, they'll tell you this is the story. Like it'll be just like a minute, or probably not even a minute. It'll be like 30 seconds, 30 seconds max. So you will have to do a walk cycle, probably run cycle or jump cycle. I would say walk cycle is the best thing that you need to start with and sort of mug up. And ideally, if you ask the interviewer to give you reference, you just give it the reference, and you can just keep it on top of it and get still. If you are interested,
the basics of animation, you know.
You should need to know the basics of animation. Yes, principles. Absolutely. All 10 principles.
12.
I mean 12, yeah. It's been a very long time, so yeah. Cool. Yeah, that is something.
So, suppose we want to enter into animation as a fresher, should we first invest our time in actually building the basic skills, you know, and give some few months for that, and then, you know, go for all the job interviews and all those things, or should we just not give so much time and just get into it?
So you should have basic knowledge, and you should have little bit drawing skills also, proper 2D animation. And if you go as a fresher, they don't expect much from you.
So that's why
You should have the basic knowledge.
Ashish, how much time is idle to give actually before entering into all those things for preparation and all?
Much time. It depends on your project. What kind of project are you doing? So imagine we had, as a team we had done a couple of animations here, and we had done one video, which was like, I guess it was about 2 minutes or something, and we took 6 months to make that video. Because the first 2 months, everyone were there. We had like 10 people. And as the months goes, 5, 4, 3, then only last me. I was the only one who was trying to finish that thing. It was a pain.
And he was there.
Yeah, obviously he wasn't there.
You said
One person.
two 2D animation we did.
It
First
reduced drastically.
Syria or that one. Paradise and the other one
We
was
did so many things. I mean, even though it looks super lame right now when I look at it, but I feel that it was learning curve, you know. Yeah,
It's
it was
good
learning.
for that time. Okay, it's good. Paradise. That
No, it was lame. Super lame it was.
That's what happens when you guys grow.
Yeah, that's what.
Look back and say, oh, that was lame.
Yeah, I know. But I know, you know, when you look back and see those creators, and I had those in my portfolio before. I have removed all those.
Everything out.
Of course.
So as you grow, you need to like keep just the best ones. Maybe even if it is one creator, that is also fine. Yeah.
And campaign helps you.
Campaign really helps you.
Campaign really.
I would say, teach them how to do a campaign. Maybe at least the thought process of the campaign. So, like a small project, wherein you tell them, see, create your own brand for anything. Like, imagine if you are creating a food delivery brand, you create a logo, you create an idea why that brand needs to exist. So, and that idea will transform into your creators. You use colors, you use typography, and you sort of make 2-3 creators which show how you might do a campaign. That's all.
Yeah, we do for the illustrator. We start with logo, make visiting card, brochure, infographic, everything related to that.
Yeah. Visiting card is not needed. Brochure not needed.
Not needed.
Yeah, not needed. Brochure not needed. Not needed at all. Visiting card though, not needed at all. That is gone in the ages. Now you just have to show social media campaigns.
Social media.
Email if possible.
Campaign is what you're saying.
Yes.
where,
I would-
all elements are fitting into
Yes. If you learn to think about it, no? So I will give you an example. There was a hiring, there was a fresher. They came in from there and they had a portfolio which sort of shows all that brochure, visiting card, and probably a couple of posters and a logo, all that. And this candidate got a job, but he got a salary of 18,000 rupees. Another person, another situation is a candidate from Chitrakala Parishad, wherein they ask you to do multiple campaigns and they ask you to think on your feet basically. That is what you really need. This candidate got 30,000 rupees as starting salary. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So basically you need to at least Google those terms and see what is the campaign. If you are trying to get into advertising, I mean, you don't need to really know what it is and really understand each level of it. At least show some basics of thoughts, you know. When you're putting out a creative, show like write like a line which says, this was my thought and this is what I learned from it. Totally helps. Yeah. Any more questions?
I have a question.
Okay. Sure.
Who's this?
Hi,
Vijay?
Rohit.
Hello.
So I just want to ask you, we are working on a campaign.
Right.
So what would be the, a good reference point to where we can, build what is needed and how to enhance this campaign? I mean, we know what campaigns are, but how do you make it look different? What can be?
Can you tell me a little about what campaign?
Time for- Yeah.
So good question we have.
So he is actually,
Isn't
I think it's very easy.
You must have seen, no?
yes, I might have.
Ah, it's
Ah,
from
yes, yes, yes.
Vijay.
Being drug free is his company which is registered.
It's come down.
Let me come back.
Do they have to come back again?
Yeah.
Oh, it's, come back.
No, then come back.
Okay. Any question? Any question? It's okay.
Yeah,
You guys can ask
Yeah, until then, until they
anything.
join, we can.
Anything. Like, as a friend, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, it's good.
How do you motivate yourself to go every time after getting the rejection initially in the interview rounds and all?
Very
the
good
next
question.
time?
Very good question. I have got rejection so many times. So, okay, I'll tell you a little about myself. Back in the days, so I've done bachelor's in computer science. I don't come from this industry at all, and I basically have experience with designing softwares. Oh, okay, I'll complete this answer and then take
He's
it.
asking one, he's answering another person, then we'll take your answer. Take your question, okay?
I'll take the question next one. Okay, yeah. How do you motivate yourself? So before joining Arena, I used to work for HP, Hewlett and Packard, as a software developer, which was horrible. Honestly, I hated development. I hated writing codes because I did bachelor's in computer science. I got that kind of job, and I worked there for, I would say, 3 months. 3 months telling every day that I wanna quit, I wanna quit, I wanna quit. So it was like a thing. It was like a hellhole, I would say. Honestly, for that 3 months I stayed there, and one of my colleagues said, if you're really interested in design, pursue that. No? And then I would say my biggest motivator would be my mom. My mom was the one who actually told me, pursue what you really want to do. Why you like trying to do something else? You have a skill. So I used to draw, and my drawings used to be like pretty good for that age, and she told me pursue that. So when I came to Arena, I understood what they were offering, and I really didn't know shit. Like when I joined Arena, I was like, will this even work? So I didn't have any confidence during it. But as my first session, or probably as the first week went by, I was so interested. I was like booming with ideas, and it was so much fun. Like doing new things, and I tried out new things, drawing, probably illustrating, and I tried to motivate myself just by trying something new. For like you asked right now, so I've been in this industry for 7 years now, and it's gonna be 7.5 years right now, and I'm trying to change my domain. So I am a designer come art director. So I used to work as a campaign creative and all that, and now I'm trying to change into user interface and design, which is UI UX, if you guys have ever heard about it. So I'm trying to move into that product designing part of it. So it's hard, honestly. With the work, you need to switch to a different domain. You need to learn new skills. You need to develop on that. It's really hard. Really hard. I've been grinding for the last 1 year. I don't know what to say. Every Saturday, Sunday, I try to learn. I take up courses. I took up one course, which was like 8 months of course with Google, and that I've completed. And I am kind of making my portfolio on that right now. So yeah, it all depends on how motivated you are to create what you really want to do. Go on with the question.
Yeah, Vijay,
Vijay?
go ahead. Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks.
Yeah, so hi, I was just asking how it comes to working on this campaign.
Right.
So, how do you put across the campaign? You put across the campaign in a much more better way.
What kind of campaign are you doing? Can you give me a little brief on that?
My campaign is on being drug-free.
Drug-free, right. Okay.
And this has been going on for quite some time. But right now we are in the verge of creating a summit to bringing across colleges and schools together.
Right.
And brands kind of participate. So it's kind of quite interesting in a way. Likewise, when we look at the campaign, how do we make it more effective? The concept of drugs is everybody knows about. But how do you make it interesting? How do you make it so that you grab that customer?
So,
Get
okay.
that people to come. How do you get that attention?
Okay,
What is-
I'll give you one thought. Basically, your insight over here is you're trying to make the user drug free,
Yeah.
and that is your core insight, and that is a very strong insight. So, when I get a brief like this, what I do is I do a market study. Market study in the sense, in India, these many people are addicted to this kind of drug, and what is their situation. You kind of dig a little deep down to what their situation is, or probably understand the user. I would say create personas. Personas in the sense, this kind of users uses this kind of drug, or probably this kind of user falls into drugs. So you need to create like 2-3 user cases and understand the user and think about if you are the user, what would you actually do? And from that point, you need to start campaign from that point. Not making it interesting or making it not interesting is like far away from the start. So I would say start with a very strong insight you have, and create couple of personas, get data. I would say get data, do some user research wherein you ask people, or you ask a set of people why these kind of people are falling into drugs, or maybe why they want to use drugs. So you will get sort of a different type of data, and from that data you will see that this would be line. You need to create like a line saying drug free India, or drug free something, or probably something that will be your main line, which will go on all your campaigns, and it will say that line on every campaign post of yours. And then you create images, and then you create your designs, and that is basic flow of a campaign.
Can I add to it? Like there are many documentary videos that are there in the YouTube, and like especially in USA and all, where there are many youths who have been affected by different categories of drugs. Especially the crystal meth was a very heavy one. The person who actually wants to come out of it was not able to come out of it, and how it's not just affecting one person, it's affecting the entire family also. So in a emotional family type of journey, also a journey of one person also, if, I don't know, but it might help that also if you want to give an emotional touch or something to it. But I've seen the after effects has been very bad.
So I would say if you want to start a campaign, view some case studies on such topics. You will have hundreds of case studies wherein certain brands have done certain things. You can at least reference them and see if you get an idea or thought from it. That is a very good starting point, I would say.
Right. You
That- I couldn't hear you.
So I said there's a test coming up at here
Okay.
on the 7th. So we can we go doing something like that, like we ask students
Okay.
what is the effect and what they think
Okay.
can be working.
Okay. So that is why you asked me. Okay.
So I said how we know how on what they do. Get it most like get it wired and things like that. Get what you reach out to brand. That's the word.
If you have a strong idea, you can always reach out to the brand and they will try to collaborate. And always see that what the brand would have. So imagine if you are going and collaborating with a brand like Amazon, telling that you want to create a drug free, but they would have their NGO division of it. So you need to basically strategically partnership with an NGO first, and then maybe reach out to other media assets. I would say that would be a very good starting line. If you want to make it viral, that is. If you have a great idea, you have a great thought, you have a great campaign execution, then absolutely, man. It will. If you have a little money, then you can push, and then it will surely become viral. But you sort of somewhere need money in the process. When you see all these big brands, they push a lot of money. They put millions of money on their campaign, and their campaigns are really nice. They put a lot of money, and that sort of gives them the great boost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
So I hope that sort of answers good.
Yes, yes.
Any of you? If you guys don't have questions, then let's wrap it.
Any questions, students? Can
Any
ask
question,
anything.
you can ask
So
anything, like
please ask
anything, any dumb question also is fine.
Yeah.
Even
Don't worry.
if you can if you ask questions like how did you animate this, or probably how did you design this, what did you think of that, or probably if you guys want to show some things, that also is welcome.
The logo design and all those tests we were doing, that the standard we have to follow, right? That it should be A4 size and the fonts and all those standard things. That's like we should know and we should be doing that, right? While design test and all.
Design test you will have time firstly, and you don't have to keep it in A4. You can have logo when you are doing. You can create a random size and make the logo. Logo layouts, yeah.
Like
So-
even social media posts and all.
Yes, that has size. When you're saying just logo design, you can make it in random size and send it over. That is fine.
But that they mentioned, right? During that time, you can give a design.
No, they will
test.
not mention. They will give you. They will ask you. They will tell you social media posts. Sometimes they do mention. They will mention the size and width and all that. You guys can take it. But ideally, I would say just get Facebook social media post size. Yeah, simple. It's like 1080 size. That's all. Yes. I think let's wrap up. Cool. Thank you, guys.
So how was this insight by these industry experts, our pride alumni who are become in the
I
industry?
hope it was a little insightful at least. I hope I didn't waste your time.
See the humility. So that's where I've been telling, like coming from where they started, like how he said how he started, we have all followed their path. And, it's a pride for me and my team, Bhavna, Manina, everybody that they are doing so big and still they are humble. And all I said was they just visited one day and said, just give us an industry talk about how the industry works and what it is. I'm sure it made a lot of difference. Please inculcate this in your minds because this will help you going forward. And also I would like to quote on since Women's Day is coming on 8th of March. Big thanks to his mom where he said his mom was his motivator and his inspiration. So I'd like to bring out such a wonderful candidate for us. And no doubt, Danny has always been the sweetest, most cutest guy. I mean, he had those mohawk style.
It's nice, sir, in the photo.
Oh yeah. This is the Danny
Blue was
actually.
my favorite.
So we used to have pink and blue and different combinations and it's pretty cool. But the fact is that the knowledge and the kind of thing they brought out, you could see, understood where they are from it. I sincerely thank you both for your time and the efforts in making the students understand that how important these kind of presentations are, industry talks are, and how it will help them in the future. And at any point of time, you can reach out to us, you can reach out to them for any queries that you might have.
Reach out to me. That is our numbers. Yeah. That is our numbers. If you guys want to reach out, you can just ping us or probably maybe call on WhatsApp or whatever. It's fine. Yeah. You can even follow us on Instagram if you want to see some fun things.
Yeah.
I do illustrations. I do a lot of lot of things. Let me show you a little of some works I did in Arena, I will say. This is back in the days, okay? So please don't judge me. I'll show you one thing. This was my first freelance project. So we had a brand called Swing Masters Golf. Okay? So basically these guys did they made pants. They embroidered pants. Okay, and we had to make a poster for this dude, and we even made the logo for him. Honestly, it was mental. Just one poster. I sat the entire night to finish this thing, and he was like, "Give it to me in 2 days." So yeah, this is fun, but you know, if you go through the grind, I feel that you sort of learn a lot of things. I'll show you one more thing. So I was very good at digital paintings. Like if you see, I was really good at digital painting. Now these are like my digital paintings.
Yes.
See this?
Sapna's birthday.
Hey, today's Swapna's birthday.
Oh, okay. This is that. So this is also a digital painting. So I was good at art basically. All these are like
Portfolio, no? It's a portfolio.
total nonsense. So, yeah, that is because right now I see so we used to, yeah, like you guys do that ice showcase thing, you know.
Yeah.
I had made this for one of our presentation. Yeah, Corridor. Madness, it was
And
called.
there was a stage drawing also you had done. Like,
Yeah.
That was in there.
So this was totally done in Corridor, if you see. Let me show you more.
Camera.
This was done in Illustrator. So I used to be very good with drawings. This was packaging.
Product packaging.
This is
This
another
is that
artwork.
come out so well, the comic.
Yeah. So many things we had done during that day. I mean that time. So this was like do your car thing,
Yeah.
and come up. I literally drew the car. So it was fun. I mean, total fun. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys what an emailer is. I'll show you what an emailer is. These are banners. See, these are banners. So this is a campaign. The festive store is a campaign, and we had to create things on that store basically. If you see Amazon, you'll find a lot of these stores, like a wedding store, probably that. I see most of these designs are still there in Amazon after like 10 years. I mean, after like 7 years. Yeah, this is an emailer. So this is an emailer which talks about gift card. So if you all know, Amazon has something called gift card, wherein you can add money to that, and you can probably gift another person that, and they can buy anything on Amazon. So this was promoting that gift card. So this is an emailer. Content, usually you get it from your content writer, and you have to design the emailer. So the goal over here was to give information about Amazon gift card and tell them what kind of access do you really get. All these are emailers, back in the day emailers. Yeah, this is a newsletter. So they'll give you like tons of copy like this. Copy means text. They'll give you tons of copy like this, and they will ask you to design, break that thing into multiple pieces, and design that as a newsletter. This is a newsletter. These are standard banners out there. These were like 5 years old, so it's a little out of shape. These. I'll show you one. So, if you all know Amazon Pay, Amazon Pay was done by our team back in 2017. We designed the entire logo, the branding, the assets, everything.
Through Ogilvy.
Through Ogilvy.
Every time we see Amazon, we'll come back.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, even these are some badges for their delivery person.
Okay.
And these are still in use. I saw this couple of days back. I was like so proud of it. I was like, yo man, nice.
Made it illustrator, huh?
Yeah, fully illustration. All these are like fun things.
This
Then-
you have gifted me, right? Copies.
Yeah, that is also. Then I was like really good with art. So these are my. I used to draw.
So acting for art application nowadays.
So yeah, I guess you just love it.
Yeah.
I used to love drawing. So
What are these things?
no.
Swapna and Puri.
Yeah. So this was one project we had done as a student. So if you see, I had put it across.
There.
You see, full illustration, everything.
This one you give to Amar not to draw, no? The elephant.
Yeah.
Amar.
We have the video also here. I mean, this. So you take your time and do some really good projects, because your projects right now, whatever you do in Arena will be like look back when you apply for a job. So make it the best that you can. In Truecaller interview, they asked me about this project. I was like, yeah, I did it. And she was so much surprised, my interviewer. She was so much surprised that, oh, you do animations also like this. I was like, yeah. So yeah, that's a brief about it. No more bragging.
Give them a big hand, please.
Alright, thank you guys.
Slides, please.
Yeah.
Slides, please.
Whoa. Hey.
Danny giving hand.
No, I thought it was just one.
Thank you so much. Proud of you. It was excellent listening to both you guys. I remember the eye showcase presentations they used to give. So it used to be very much like how we all give nowadays. And we used to give them feedback, and then we used to give them changes. So whenever he was talking about the client asking for changes immediately, I remembered when Sapna and Mari ma'am and all used to give them changes for eye showcase. And Dan used to say, ma'am, this is right, ma'am. Why are you asking for changes?
Oh, hard time what Danny gave is not Paradise movie, ma'am.
Yeah, Paradise movie. Then we had to bribe them and all.
Yeah.
And we had to threaten them that you have to finish. Otherwise we will lock you here. And they have gone through all of
Yeah, a lot of threatening. And Rohit is, ma'am, he's not working, ma'am. What should I do? He's on me. Night used to message me, ma'am, what do I do? I said, okay, tomorrow we'll catch Danny. And then correctly he'll not come that time.
But he's an excellent,
Excellent.
videographer, I mean video editor and motion designer.
editing. Was
It's
superb.
basically, I have learned during these years that I know how to go his ways, you know. He has the ways. Basically, if you go directly to him and ask him, hey, kar do yaar, he will not do. He will be like, hey, chal, bak.
His language, we used to use a different language for him. Then he was.
All in all, very hardworking guys, and we are very, very proud to see you all go these years. And we're so happy. And thank you. You've given us something very precious today. Your time. Your time you've given us. Thank you so much. All the best. Yeah, a selfie with all our students. How can we do that?
Praveen, selfie please.
Praveen,
Selfie please, selfie master. Rekha, please come.
You're